The Kaduna State Governor, Nasir el-Rufai, on Wednesday waded into the exchange between his northern colleagues and their southern counterparts over the clamor for power shift ahead of the 2023 general election. According to el-Rufai, his colleagues in the north never opposed the presidency going to the south in 2023, but took umbrage with the language used by their southern colleagues. He said the word must was at variance with democracy, which is characterized by negotiations and horse-trading by all parties involved, often out of the public glare. He recalled that he and some other northern governors had earlier called for a power shift in 2023 in their individual capacities to foster national unity and togetherness, adding that he was called names by his people for supporting power rotation. el-Rufai's clarification came on the heels of a statement by the Northern Elders Forum, which advised both sides of the divide not to hold on to rigid positions and instead should negotiate the power shift. Spokesman of the Northern Elders Forum, Dr. Akim Baba Ahmed, said the rhetoric over the issue was splitting the country, adding that the southern governors will have to engage their northern colleagues to bridge the gap. Well, joining us now to discuss what appears to be the voice of reason among some influential northerners and to tell us how his group intends to get involved in the negotiating process for the emergence of the next Nigerian president is Dr. Bitrus Pogu, president of the Middle Belt Forum. Welcome to the show, Dr. Pogu, and thank you for joining us. Good morning. Well, very quickly,
good morning.
I'm sure you are very familiar with what the governor of Kaduna State, Nasir el-Rufai, has now said about that controversy about rotational presidency, and also the clarification by the spokesperson of the Northern Elders Forum. Do you think that truly, as we try to point out, that the voice of reason is now beginning to prevail? And if there's going to be a conversation around this or any form of negotiation, what should still be, the dominant consideration and your own expectation in terms of outcome?
Thank you very much. This issue has cropped up in Nigeria before. If we remember, after the demise of late Abiola, when the SDP won the presidential ticket and was denied, Nadeko came to the floor, and because of that and the pressure and the need for Nigeria to remain one united entity, our elders, without any negotiation or whatever, saw it fit or deemed it fit to zone the presidency to the southwest, not just the south, but southwest in 1999. And the major political parties at that time zoned the presidency to the southwest. Its voice of reason, it was a doctrine of necessity. We wanted the country to remain united. Now, the political parties after that took cue and introduced zoning in their manifestos and constitution. And both PDP, APC said the presidency will be rotated between the north and south. Now, it is only proper, without whether negotiation or whatever, that after the tenure of a northern president, the president should naturally go to the south. Now, the southern governors made the statements they did or made, believing that there were some body languages here up north suggesting that this gentleman's agreement, which is not constitutional, of course, was not going to be kept by people in the north. So they met and said this thing should come to the south, because the body language of so many northerners indicated that something is fishy. For the north now to come and respond the way they did, the governors and traditional rulers, to me is unfortunate, because if we want Nigeria to remain one at a time now that secessionist tendencies are growing more and more than ever before, the better thing to do is to do the right thing. let the presidency go down south. By mellowing their approach and saying they need to be negotiation. What negotiation? If we want this country to remain one after 2023, the right thing to do is to zone this thing to the south. But of course, we in the Middle Belt are also bringing another variable to the equation. Anytime it comes to the north, it is the far north that takes it. They don't consider the northern minorities, which the Willings Commission described as those occupying the Middle Belt area of Nigeria. So we are also saying we should also be considered in this equation. And for that reason, we are saying, yes, it should go to the south, but we should also be considered in the equation. And that is where we stand.
So two things. Yes, the Middle Belt is not being considered in the equation. There's this narrative they keep enunciating. Number one is one North. That's what Northern Elders Forum, where we have...
That doesn't exist.
No, but they keep enunciating that argument, one North. What's your take on that word? And where is even the Middle Belt?
Yeah.
You know, I asked that question deliberately because somebody was speaking the other day and he says, I don't know where the Middle Belt is. That's what, who was speaking? Babacha Lawa, former secretary to the federal government. He said, I don't know where the Middle Belt is. Yes. Are they going to say we in Adamawa are the Middle Belt? Where is the Middle Belt? And what is your take on this idea of one North?
Thank you very much. That monolithic North is dead and buried. The colonial masters, when they came, realized that there were areas that were not controlled by the Caliphate, neither by the Sultanate of Borno, and those areas were considered as occupying the Middle Belt area. In fact, a longitude has been demarcated, and if you go visit the Willings Commission report and look at the Willings Commission map, you will see the area called the Middle Belt. Not only that, the Willings Commission went around between 1957 and 1958, conversing with Middle Belters from Zuru area in southern part of Kebbi, southern part of Kaduna, had sittings in Jos. In the northeast, where Babachir comes or hails from, they had sittings at Numan. So all these things have been documented to converse with the northern minorities as to whether or not a region should be created for the Middle Belters. It was the Willings Commission who told the Middle Belters that time that you belong or occupy the Middle Belt area of the North, and that's how the Middle Belt thing came about. Of course, the agitators at that time had a different name, but of course they ended up as Middle Belt. So for Babachir, a Kilba man from Adamawa, to say his area was under either the Sultanate of Borno or the Caliphate, he's wrong, because it was never under them.
So
and
Babachir
that
is in the Middle
is the
Belt.
area called the Middle Belt.
So he's in
Of course, he is from the Kilba nationality in Adamawa State. Much of southern Borno, the whole of Adamawa, Taraba, Benue, Nasarawa, Plateau, part Gombe, part of Bauchi, FCT, southern Kaduna, Kogi, Kwara, Kebbi, part of Kebbi, that is the Zulu side, Niger. All these were part of the areas considered. Now, if people migrated to occupy some people's land, it doesn't change the demography. The original people are still there. They are Middle Belters, and we call ourselves Middle Belters. And that is who we are. Now, the North, the British wanted the North to remain monolithic for some reason. They wanted it because they wanted to hand over power to the North. And they used Middle Belters to beef up the population of the North before independence. And though before independence, if you look at the population, go back to history, all these things are there, you can Google and see. the southeast and Bamenda had the highest population, followed by the southwest and the north, that is including the middle belt, had the third population in terms of numerical strength. However, the British wanted to hand over to the north and therefore denied the middle belters a region for themselves. Though after independence, the southern minorities were given Midwestern region for also political consideration, which now we know as used just to whittle down the strength of the Southwest. But all the same, we who consider ourselves middle belters going down history and memory lane are saying we are not northerners. We are middle belters. And the North has always considered us that way anyway. When it comes to such consideration as North, they say all of us as North. But when it comes to appointments and other considerations, they don't consider us as North. So why should this hypocrisy continue? Let them just say, we are middle belters, they are northerners. Let everybody be who he is. We are not ashamed of being middle belters because we are proud of our history, of our ancestry, and our motto is our land, our people, our heritage. So we are not ashamed of who we are. So let the North play its game as northerners. We middle belters will play ours as middle belters. But we hold the country together. Whether it is South or it is North, without the middle belt, this country cannot be together. So what we are saying as true Nigerians, as aborigines of Nigeria, we are saying let's allow the presidency to move to the south. If it wouldn't move, let it stay in the middle belt because the North doesn't consider us as part of the North anyway. So that's our position.
Okay, I mean, I was going to take you up on that to ask you to clarify specifically what the interest of the middle belt is, because it's not enough for you to say you should be considered part of the equation. In politics, nobody considers anybody part of the equation. You have to make an effort. But now you say, if the South will not take it, then maybe you should come to the middle belt. But what concrete efforts are you making in the middle belt to project, your own interests? Because what I get is Middle Belt Forum supporting groups, social-cultural groups in the South, the Southern and the Middle Belt Alliance, almost saying more or less the same thing with the dominant groups in the South. If you could just clarify that a bit further. And then beyond all of that,
thank you very much.
Tomorrow, Nigeria...
Middle Belt Forum is not supporting groups in the South. Middle Belt Forum is partnering with groups in the South, because we've realized that our northern brothers, there are two different words. Our northern brothers, who we have stayed together, have continued to use us for their own purposes. But when it comes to sharing the cake, we are not part of it. So, we have been partners. We forged this partnership recently. And we believe that, yes, we have so many things in common with the southern partners. But after the British handed over power to the North, and the North continued to play a dominant role, whether it was within the military or within civilian administration in the polity and politics of Nigeria, we in the Middle Belt said, look, we cannot remain second class or second fiddle in this game. We have to assert ourselves. The founders of the Middle Belt movement in the 50s also did something similar. They realized, yes, we are not part of the northern hegemony. We are not part of the caliphate, but we have to assert ourselves in where we found ourselves. Why? Because the British, through indirect rule, brought these nationalities in the north under some system which was alien to us, to the extent that some of our traditional titles had to change. Some traditional titles which had traditional names had to change to either Emir or Emirate or whatever because of the dominant North. While the people in that Emirate are either traditional worshippers or Christians. So all these are distortions created through the indirect rule foisted on us by the British. So today we are saying, look, enough is enough. You can't continue to remain docile in the same position all the time. You see a better position, you move to that better position. And because of that, we believe a better position now is partnering with people in the South, so that we can forge a better Nigeria where every Nigerian will have equal status as Nigerians, not some Nigerians dictating to others.
Okay.
So that's where we are.
I get your point. Thanks for that clarification. But you were talking about the Willings Commission, and you were referring to the British. And I was going to ask you that tomorrow Nigeria will be celebrating 61 years of independence, right? And when you look back from that independence moment till now, where do you think we got it wrong? And although you've talked about justice and equity, what else do we need to do to make sure that every citizen has a sense of belonging?
Thanks for that. That's a very important question at this moment in time. I wouldn't say this is where we got it wrong. At independence, we started with regions, and those regions were functioning, and there was competition between the regions. In the Southwest, they were depending on their cocoa and exporting and paying royalties to the center. In the Southeast, they had their palm oil, palm kernel, etc., etc. In the North, we had the groundnut pyramids, we had the cotton and whatever. And these groups were competing favorably. Some universities were created through these processes. We know that the first television, whatever, started in the Southwest, even before some Western countries. And that healthy competition continued till the military interjected 1966. Of course, we wouldn't say that some of the military administrations brought in retardation, because some of them did some progressive things. But all the same, that constitution which we had was jettisoned. And martial law, military rule, military constitution was eventually foisted on us, including even the 1999 constitution, which we are now operating as amended. Now, that constitution starts ab initio with a faulty premise, saying we the people. We the people didn't, the military foisted it on us. Whether you liked it or not, what the military wanted was what was brought into that constitution. We had different presidents, different heads of state that came to power. Many of them tried moving this country forward. Some of them retarded the country. But all the same, we are where we are. And I can categorically say without fear, without compromise, that where we are now is worse than ever before, because we are more divided than ever before. The economy is bad. Insecurity, you don't have to mention it. Even, was it day before yesterday, a former Senator Iguga was kidnapped. Thank God I learned he is now free. So these things have ruined this country. Though we can see physical structures coming up because of individual efforts, government need to come up moving in the right direction for Nigeria to be what it's supposed to be. We had so many things started at the same time with so many countries which were considered third world then. Now these countries have moved forward. We are still down the ladder. It is unfortunate, and it is because of bad leadership. So the problem of this country is bad leadership, leaderships that are sectional, and that's one of the reasons why we say power, the Northerners who decided on Monday that power must not go to the South, should cover their faces in shame. If what we have now as Northern leadership is what they want to retain for Nigeria, then sorry for this country. It means we cannot move forward. We need change. we need to move forward. Whether it is APC or PDP, we need to move forward. We cannot retain power just because we feel things should be the way we want it. The North has to look at it, whether it is Boko Haram, whether it is Fulani Herdsmen, militia, bandits, all started from the North, propagated in the North, and it is being sold to the South. So it is unfortunate that Northerners would say, we want the presidency here. What has the presidency in the North done to move Nigeria forward? Let's ask this question. Now, some of them argue that, hey, the North spent so years. Oh, are they challenging God? Are they saying God who determined the age, the age of late Yaradua did something wrong? If Yaradua was alive, he would have continued his full term. So anybody using that argument is challenging God. So as far as we are concerned, let there be progress. Let there be unity. Unity for progress. Let the presidency move so that we can be united as a country, so that secessionist movements, secessionist agitations will stop, and we as a people can make progress. The economy, which cannot be managed well now, can now start to be managed well.
Okay, Dr.
This
Pogu.
team is not doing it well. Thank you.
Okay, Dr.
Thank
Pogu,
you.
real quickly. I also, in about 2 minutes, I also want you to interrogate the concept of numerical advantage of the North. You said something earlier on.
That is what makes me laugh, sir.
You said that the British used the Middle Belters to shore up the numbers in the North. Let's talk about numerical advantage. The North and numbers.
You know, yes, thank you. The North they use this argument, we have the numbers, etc. Take the Middle Belt out, where are the numbers? They know they don't have the numbers, sir. They know it. But of course, for propaganda purposes, they use that argument, we have the numbers, we can do it. Yes, cowards can be emasculated and toe their line. Or maybe they are going to use insurgency to force people to do what they want. Unfortunately, I can assure you, people are not going to toe that line. People will do the right thing. And that is why we are saying Nigeria needs a transparent method of electoral process, let me put it this way, so that all these middlemen in our electoral process called returning officers who change 10 into 1,000 or 10 into 10,000 will now cease to exist. As results, if you want rig, do it at the polling station. If you outsmart me, fine and good. God bless your soul. But I think with technology, even that one would be cut short. And we will have a transparent election. And then we will transmit the results electronically. Nobody will change the result at the polling station. It will go to the server. Everybody is watching. And then we will have the result as it comes. Then the true population will emerge. People who inflate figures and make 1,000 to be 100,000 will now be checkmated, and Nigeria will be better for it.
Well, Dr.
Sir,
Pogu?
I believe that doing things the right way will solve our problem. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, but with regard to numbers, and whatever advantage some people ascribe to themselves, to be president of Nigeria, you must get 25% of the votes from 2/3 of the 36 states and the FCT, which means the contemplation of the Constitution is that the Nigerian president will be a Nigerian president, not a northern president or a southern president.
Of course.
But thank you very much, Dr. Pogu, for joining us. Thank you very much indeed.